Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I made this very beautiful wafer paper and crinoline cake a while back, and I made some videos to share with you guys. So I don't have the cutter, the round cutter, so I just cut out a template and I cut the wafer paper with my scissors. I just took my time on a day that I was free and I prepped this ahead of the cake. So it's really not that difficult, to be sincere. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. So what I did was to put like 3 wafer papers together at a time. Then using the template, I cut them first in squares and then went ahead to trim them to the circles that I wanted. Just try as much as possible to make sure that you're not cutting off parts of the circle, so that when you use it to make your roses, it will come out uniform. So it's just a very simple process. My issue with the round cutter is that it just has regular sizes, and sometimes you might want something really big or something not so big, so the cutters actually limit you. But if you can put your mind to cut it this way, you can actually get any size that you want, because I made a very big one and then I made like 2 smaller ones. So whatever you decide, you can work on. If you have access to the round cutter for wafer paper, that's very great. I don't believe in suffering actually. So if you can get that one, it's totally fine and it will make your work really fast. And the best part is that there's no wastage with wafer paper, because these scraps that we cut out was what we used to make the other crinoline parts of the same cake. So this took a bit of a while. I didn't fast forward it. I just wanted it to just go with the flow. So we cut a whole lot. I cut a whole lot. This took so much wafer paper. So if you want to embark on this, make sure that you have enough wafer paper. And if a client should ask you for this kind of design, make sure you factor in the cost. Where I stay, one sheet of wafer paper currently goes for 500 naira. So check when you need to buy like 20 for one cake. Make sure you're adding that cost to that cake. Actually, this cutting of the wafer paper is the main work that you have to do. The rest is quite easy actually. So once you're able to cut the amount that you want, your work becomes very easy. Let me take this opportunity to ask you to kindly subscribe to my channel, share my videos with your friends, and support my channel. Thank you. I promise to keep dishing out premium videos that teach you so much for free. So please kindly support my ministry by sharing and liking our videos and even commenting. I sincerely appreciate all those who have been doing that. God bless you real good. So after we had finished cutting all the wafer papers, or at least we had gotten quite a number, I brought out, this is just an empty baking powder container. You just need something that is round. It's preferable if you can get a glass cup that the mouth is smooth, because this one gave me some issues when I wanted to pull it out after I had finished adding them. So just bend your wafer paper gently so that you don't cut it, and then put a little water like halfway on the first petal, and then add the second petal halfway. Don't don't overlap it, just give like half and then add, and you just continue that way. That's why I didn't fast forward it, so that you can see how I did it. It's really easy to do. Just make sure you bend it into half and put water from halfway, and then add the next one. So you continue doing this till you go round, and then you just continue building up on the one you've done. Always remember to add the water halfway and to fold the circle in a complete half, so that when you turn it back to reveal the rows, it's a perfect size, so that the sizes are perfect. So here is where our first set joins each other. So just continue adding it. Just take your time. This is something you can do when you are less busy, you're not in a hurry, so that you do it very well and it comes out very pretty and nice. You can always store it. Wafer paper doesn't go bad unless you expose it to water or a very humid condition. If not, it keeps very well. So if you have this type of work, you can do this and keep, and wait till when your job is due, you now use it for your cake. So the size of the circle you cut is really determined by what you want to achieve. I wanted one of the roses to be quite big, so I used a container that is big for the forming, and I also cut the circles to be quite big. So basically what you want to do is to keep building this up till the gap in the center is very small. Then you can close it up. If you stop at this stage, it's going to give you a very scanty rose, a rose that is not well formed yet. So you need to be patient enough to fill it all up. That's why you need to cut a whole lot. As you can see, it's beginning to form nicely. Make sure you're not adding too much water, because wafer paper and water are not friends. Just enough to hold it onto the next one. So here I had gotten it to a point I was comfortable with. So I cut one paper that could cover the whole back and put a little water and then glued it to cover the hole. So after that, we're going to turn it to see what we've been able to do. This was quite tricky. At a point I was scared because it was still a bit wet. So I had to carefully pull it out. And ta-da! See what we have. A beautiful giant wafer paper rose. So the scraps that we got from the wafer paper, I blended them 100 grams of water to 6 grams of wafer paper. Just blend with your blender till you have a smooth solution that looks like pap. So I wanted a very subtle pink, so I added my pink dust to it. Actually, what I'm using is a flower dust, so I added very little. I didn't want the pink to pop. I wanted it to just be very subtle. So here I was mixing it with a skewer to get it uniformly mixed in. So unfortunately I didn't video where I fried this. So to make this crinoline, you can just go on YouTube, type wafer paper crinoline, and there are tons of videos for it. So at this stage, what you just need to do is to get your non-stick pan. Make sure it's a non-stick pan, so you can put like a spoon of the mixture into the non-stick pan. You don't need oil, you don't need anything. Just put it and let it spread. Use your hand to spread it out the way you desire. So it will fry, and when it fries well, it will pop out. If you make small chops, it's just like making the sheets for samosa and spring roll. So when it fries, you will see it. It will just leave the pan by itself. It's very pretty and lacy. You just pull it out and then you can use it for your cake decorating. So these are the roses we were able to make, and I'm about to attach them to our cake. For our cake, I just covered lightly with buttercream, combed it very well without any shaped scrapers. So because I wanted that subtle pink effect, I dusted these with the dust, but I've seen people spray with wet color, but I'm always scared. I think they mix with alcohol before they spray. I prefer to just dust with my makeup brush. Meanwhile, this makeup brush is fully dedicated to our cake decorating. We don't use it for any other thing. So just dusted lightly and it cut on with the color nicely, just the way I wanted it. I didn't want it loud. I wanted it soft and girly. Yeah, for a very pretty client of ours. She didn't know what we were doing actually. She just said she wanted a cake, so we decided to surprise her with something very cute. And trust me, she was really wild. So we just went on to dust. You can see the difference between the one in my hand and the one on the table. We just went on to dust. So for the cake itself, just wrap wafer paper round it, stick together with water, so that it's easy for you to attach your wafer paper decorations. If not, it will give you some issues. So let your wafer paper decorations be coming in contact with wafer paper. Maybe next time I'll do a full video of that. So it just makes it really easier for you to attach your wafer paper decorations when you cover your cake first with wafer paper. So you can go light on the fondant or the buttercream. so that it's not bulky and that your client is not having too much to throw away. So I went ahead to dust all the flowers because I wanted all of them to be in that light pink shade, very subtle pink shade, very pretty. So it doesn't take much, just dust and you're good to go. Tap out any excess to avoid wastages. The wafer paper flowers are very firm, very, very firm. So you don't really need anything fancy to attach your wafer paper pieces. Water is just enough. So we've just wet our wafer paper that is already on the cake, and then we put some water on the wafer paper rolls, and it sticks just like that, very fast. See how beautiful that is already. So we're going to add the other two, and then we'll fill up the blank spaces with our crinoline. So this is a very beautiful cake design to make for your clients if they're willing to pay. It's just something different from the regular that we do every day. It just adds a very unique touch to your cakes. So I try it out and tag me. So I tried the thing with this. We lit up the candles that we added. It was so pretty. And then we put the lights back on. Just check that out. Here's a closer video we made before we sent the cake out to our client. So these are the crinoline papers. They're also easy to attach. Just add a bit of water to the wafer paper base and stick them on. I like how the edges are so just so. It was